How do you go about finding sponsorships? This is a question I get all the time, you know. A lot of writers who work with us, a lot of people that have started the process of developing a project start like that. They go, you know, where do I get a sponsor? How do I get a sponsor behind me? Take the approach of a racing car driver. Or a sports person. They're always looking for a sponsorship. They have someone, potentially an agent, who goes out and finds them sponsorship. I don't advocate agents, to be honest with you. I think agents can be a little bit possibly not as swift as you would like them to be. Most agents tend to dissuade their writers or their talent not to pursue a sponsorship right away. And the reason for that is because sponsorships genuinely sound very difficult to find. And anyone who's embarked on the process of trying to find a sponsor discovers that it's not easy. It's not easy to find a sponsor, but it is extremely easy when you know how. Knowing how is the big thing, and we do sort of work the numbers. So we do find ways to, you know, for every 30 or 40 that we contact, 3 or 4 are going to come through as sponsors. The others they sit in a file and they potentially somewhere in the future become great sponsors, you know. But we do work the understanding that out of every 10, maybe 2 or 3 will become potentially good sponsors. The others might become very small sponsors. I always find easy ways to make your sponsors get involved. Don't go in asking for a lot of money. Go in asking for a very small amount of money, sometimes just even asking for product. And you'll find that sponsors get behind you very, very quickly. You know, they tend to really love your project. You know, as you get to know them a little bit better, your customers become clients, full-on clients, and eventually become fans because you're delivering to them something their ad agency is not delivering. You know, their ad agency is doing copy or some kind of graphic design work. They're placing their advertising, and they're getting what they expect. They're getting an advertisement, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. With film sponsorships, you've got this relationship that's built around your film, your story, which governs the plot, everything that you're doing. It's the top end value, you know. So this is the project. This is what it's going to look like. This is how it's going to, this is how it's going to drive viewers in. And then your sponsor gets caught up in the idea. You know, they love the idea of suddenly providing vehicles that are going to be traveling down south to a beautiful stretch of beach. They love the idea they're going to be, providing board shorts and all of the wonderful gear that your film is going to be showcasing. Your advertisers love the idea of being on set, taking photographs with the talent. Suddenly all of the hoopla that is happening online through Facebook or YouTube, or they're involved in that. All of that extra mileage of advertising that they get involved with, that they become part and parcel of. They're on that bandwagon. You know, as the film is made, as it progresses, as you're putting the project into place, they're there through all the stages, and they love the process of building and making this thing come together. And what I find really interesting is that the more you involve them and the more you educate them in terms of online, electronic media, the more your sponsors love it. The more they get behind you, the more they want to see the project happen. How do you go about contacting these sponsors? Well, contacting sponsors easily is purely give them a call. Start the process off by either calling them. You see something that is in alignment with your film. You know, if you're working on a surf movie, and you know that the sort of coastal towns are surrounded by really good surf shops, contact them. Speak to them. Let them know what you're doing, and word spreads. And by the way, whenever you contact a sponsor, don't think of a sponsor as yes, no, and then that's it. Don't worry about it. You might get a yes. that is super, you can move on. But more than likely, you'll get a no. If you get a no, you can do 5 things with that no, you know. No, as you know, in sales is people want to know more. They want more knowledge, more information. So you keep in contact with them. You keep them on a newsletter. You keep mailing to them. It's also called string and bucket in sales. You know, you don't just you know, we've got, you know, behind here we've got a great big shelving area, and in that shelving area there's the existing clients. These are the clients, the people we operate with. But then there's the hopefuls. You know, we call them the hopefuls. We don't call them the rejects or people that are not interested. We call them the hopefuls, because they don't know it yet. They want to do this. It's just they need to be convinced. And the only way you're going to convince them is by sending them information, visuals, keeping them up to date, sending them links to your YouTube channels. You know, I've had sponsors that have said no, 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 no so many times, but eventually, you know, years down the line, they go, yes, okay, you know, he's been doing so much, you know. What is the cost of getting a lead like that? You know, how the rare offering is the sponsor that comes on board and says, yes, I'm in. That's the best kind of sponsor, because those are the ones we love the most, because they're the ones that get it straight away. They're the easiest to acquire, and once you've got them, you love them. You love them. You turn them into raving fans. You just absolutely give them extraordinary things. What I discover though is that those are very small. That's why I say they're a rare offering. The others, which take a little bit more communication, more knowledge, more education, those are the ones that you have to retain communication with all the time. You've got to keep communicating with them all the time. And eventually that turns into something. The other way, which I find is an extraordinarily good way of finding sponsorships, is to place advertising on the internet mostly. I have a great landing page that explains the project that you're trying to produce, what it is that you want to do, and then place advertising online. So you might be saying things like, join our party on the beach, you know, on Facebook. People click through that, they hyperlink through to your landing page, and there's an expressions of interest page which says, this is what we're doing, this is the film, this is the project that we're up to. If you're interested, contact us, and you will probably find that you will get expressions of interest. You will get people saying, we're interested, you know, we can't offer cash right now, or we can only offer this or that, or, you know, let's discuss options. So that is a super way of finding sponsorships, but obviously it does cost you. It costs you up front. The least expensive way is to contact telephonically. Use the old-fashioned system of cold calling. That still kind of works, and it tends to be an option which a lot of filmmakers are using.